Temura. Hey, Aleph. How does one use subterfuge regarding a bakor? Regarding an animal that was pregnant with the first offspring, one declares what is this in one's womb. If it is a male, it's an ola. If she gave birth to a male, it is offered as an ola. If she declares, if it is a female, it is a shlomin offering. If she gave birth to a female, it is offered as a shlomin. If one declares if the fetus is a male, is an ola. If it is a female, it is a shlomin offering. If she then gave birth to a male and a female, the male is offered as an ola and the female offered as a shlomin. If she gave birth to two males, one of them is offered as an ola, the second one is sold to those who have an ola obligation, and its proceeds are chulin. If she gave birth to two females, one of them is offered as a shlomin, the other one, and the second one is sold to those who have a shlomin obligation, and its proceeds are chulin. If she gave birth to a tubim and a drogen, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel says no sanctity takes effect upon them. If one declares the fetus of this pregnant animal is an oler and a shelf is the shlomin, the declaration stand. But if you declare the pregnant animal is a shlomin and a fetus is an oler, the fetus is the offspring of a shlomin. These are the words of Meir, and Rabbi Yossi says if he intended to say this from this outset, since it is impossible to utter two designations simultaneously, his declaration stand. However, if after he declared the pregnant animal hereby a shlomin, and then we consider and declare the fetus as an ola, the fetus of the offspring of the fetus is an offering of a shlomin.
Okay, so just to bring us back into context over here, we're talking about if somebody we started out by cheating on a bechor. In other words, if a guy doesn't want to give his bechor to a kohen, he has the option of sanctifying it in the womb already as a korban, in which case the kohen's not going to have any rights over it. And then the next one won't be a bechor anyway. Okay, so this last Mishnah that we saw, there's machlokes between Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yossi about if somebody made a declaration of sanctification and on a pregnant mother, a pregnant mother cow or animal, and what happens to the offspring if he declares the offspring of a different sanctification. So Rabbi Yossi is of the opinion that if it's all in one breath, and basically this was his initial intention, then it's still effective. As Rabbi Meir says, as soon as the first words are out of his mouth that says that the mother is an ola, is a shlamim, then the offspring is a vlad shlamim. You can't change that. Okay, and you'll see the same opinions consistent in Mishnah Daled. He says, Temuras ola. So he says about a particular pregnant animal, Temuras ola. This is in exchange for an ola. Okay, now remember, a female cannot be an ola, but Temura still works on a female. So it still gets the kedusha of an ola. Temuras shlamim, or he says it's a Temura of shlamim. Now again, you're not allowed to do Temura, but is it effective? Hooray, zo Temuras ola, divrei Rabbi Meir. So Rabbi Meir says this is it is just a Temuras ola, and there's nothing else to it, says Rabbi Meir. Amar Rabbi Yossi im lekach niskaven mitchila. If this was his initial intention, hoel ve'iyafshar likros shnei shemos kachas, since he can't say the words out simultaneously. So do we just see about Temuras shlamim? Since he cannot say the words simultaneously, his words are effective. Okay, so what does it mean that his words are effective? If he says that it's v'chetzia temuras ola, v'chetzia temuras shlamim, so it's half a temura of ola and half a temura of shlamim, of a shlamim. So this animal, we're not even talking. I thought we were going to be talking about a pregnant animal, and I'm wrong. This is just talking about a stam animal. And if he says it all in one shot, then effectively it has become a temura of both kedushas. So what do you do with it? It has to go into the flock until it gets a mum, and then it's sold, and half of its value is brought as an ola, and half of it is brought as shlamim. Okay, so Rabbi Yossi concedes the point that if he says Temuras ola, if he have a venimlach ba'amar Temuras shlamim, hareza Temuras ola. Once the words have come out of his mouth and he says, oh, but now I also want to make it Temuras shlamim, it's too late. He can't change his mind, but it's got to be his original intention, and he has to say it in basically in one breath, and then it's and then both of his words are effective. Okay. Hare zo, tachas zo, temura zo, chalufas zo, whatever. If you use any of those wordings in order to exchange one animal for another, again, he's not allowed to, but these are the words that make it effective. Hare zo temura. Then it does become a temura. So we're talking about, is it tachas zo, temura zo, chalufas zo? That is how one does a temura. Don't do this at home. Zo mechuloles also. If he uses the word mechulal, if he uses chilul, now chilul is a different kind of lashon. It's like you're taking away the kedusha from one and placing it on the other one. So instead of saying this is in place of this or as an exchange for this, you're saying it is mechulal. What's the word in English? It is desanctified. Okay, that is not called temura. The word mechulal does not affect temura. And if this was a hektish animal, which was a balmum, then chilul is exactly the kind of wording that you need in order to redeem it, in order to do a pidyon. Okay. So if it's mechulal, then it says the animal becomes cholin, but tzarech lasos damim, and you have to now make to turn it into money, because now effectively what you've done is instead of doing a temura, he wanted to exchange. He was an animal that was a balmum, and he's a bit of an amaretz. So he brings another animal and says, okay, zeh mechulal al zeh. Okay, so now he's done. Instead of doing a temura, what he has done is he's done a pidyon. He's redeemed it onto the equivalent of money, but he can't bring this animal itself now as an ola. Let's say he did it onto a korban grade animal. He has to first sell the animal and get money for it, and then he can use that money to buy an ola. You can't use that actual animal as Oh no! Wait! Oh, but beg your pardon. No. You can do it like that. I'm just reading Hati again. Even though it has, Torah, it's gone to Chulin. He still needs to do a monetary evaluation, because the animal that he exchanged it for might be worth less. In which case, he has to put extra money in and put more money into another ola. Okay, so that the hekdesh should not lose out. That's the important thing. Hekdesh should never lose. Okay, Mishna Vav, Harei zo tachas chatas, v'tachas ola. If he says that this animal is in place of a chatas, or it's in place of an ola, and he doesn't specify which one it is, then that doesn't do anything, because the temura has to have a specific animal in mind. So you can't just say it's in place of an unspecified ola, an unspecified chatas. It doesn't work. Tachas chatas zo, if he says it's in place of this chatas or in place of this ola, tachas chatas, tachas ola sheyesh li b'zoch habayis, or even if it's not physically present, but he has in mind which one he wants to exchange it for, because he's got these animals already at home. If he has it there, d'varav kayamim, then his words are effective. So even if the animal is not physically present, but he has the right, but he has the particular animal in mind that he's exchanging for, then the temura is effective. Im amar al behema tameya v'al ba'alas mum hare elu ola. Now, if he takes a non-kosher animal and says this is an ola, or it's a ba'al mum, and he declares it as an ola, lo amar klum. Then his words are not effective, because these animals are not rai. They're not fitting for a korban. Hare elu le'ola. However, subtle change in wording. If he says these are for an ola, if he just says hare zo ola, if this is an ola, it doesn't work. Hare zu le'ola, he says these are for an ola. Imachru v'yavi b'demehim ola. Then he says, okay, it's basically like taking this money is for an ola. He's converted the animal into money effectively, and saying, okay, this and the animal, the value of this animal is going to go for an ola. Okay. There's a question in my mind over here, which is suddenly I just realized over here, al balas mum. If you sanctify a baal mum, do you not just have to redeem it? It should become sanctified, and you have to redeem it. Or maybe because the mum precedes the kedusha, the hekdesh, it doesn't take effect. But I seem to remember, no, that's right. The kedusha doesn't take effect at all. Okay, fine, we got it there. All right, moving onwards to Arachin Tesvav.
A city whose roofs constitute its wall, of one that was not surrounded by a wall from the time of Yeshua, the son of Yeshua ben Nun, is not treated according to the law of the houses of walled cities. These are the houses of walled cities, 3 courtyards consisting of 2 houses each, surrounded by a wall since the days of Yeshua ben Nun. For example, Old Katra of Sephora, Kakra of Kush Kaglav, Old Yodfas, Gamla, Galod, Hadid, Ona, and Yerushalayim. And and the same for all of them are like them. The houses of the open houses are according to the advantages of the houses of walled cities and the advantages of fields. They may be redeemed immediately, and they may be redeemed for the entire 12 months, like houses, and they go out in Yovel, and with the deduction of money, like fields. These are the houses of open towns, 2 courtyards consisting of 2 houses each, and even if they're surrounded by a wall from the time of Yeshua ben Nun, are judged as houses of open towns. If a Yisrael inherited it from his maternal grandfather, a Levi, who does not redeem according to this order, and so too if a Levi inherited from his maternal grandfather, Yisrael, he does not redeem according to this order, as it says, for the houses of the cities of Levium, unless he's both a Levi and the cities of Levium, these are the words of Rebbe. The sages, however, say the matter was stated only concerning the cities of the Levium. We may not make a field into a clearing, nor a clearing into a field, nor a clearing into a city, nor a city into a clearing. From Eliezer said, what does this apply to the cities of the Levium? But in cities belonging to Yerushalayim, we make a field into a clearing and not a clearing into a field. And we may make a clearing into a city, but not a city into a clearing, lest they destroy the cities of Israel. The Kohanim and Levium may sell at any time and redeem it at any time, as it says, the Levium shall have an eternal right of redemption.
Okay, and Temura 1-1 over Yom Kippur.
Temura, next.
Yeah.
What?
Okay, Chorus.
It's not here.
What?
Okay. More.
Yeah, so tomorrow, restart tomorrow. Okay, Bechorus, Hey Aleph.
It's right here. I'm sorry. What did you say? Which one we're doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. No, I'm not doing it today. All right. Don't confuse
me.
We
already did tomorrow, but move your bookmark for tomorrow to 1-1. Okay. Bechoros Hey Aleph.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Get out of here. Not you. All disqualified offerings may be sold in the market, slaughtered in the market, and be weighed by the litra, with the exception of the Bekor and the Misa offering, because the advantage falls to the owners. With disqualified offerings, however, the advantage falls to the holy state, and a portion may be weighed against a portion in case of the Bekor. Beit Shammai says that Yisrael may not be invited to join with the Kohen in the Bekor, but Beit Hillel, however, permits it, and even a non-Jew. If a Bekor suffers from a congestion of blood, even if it will die, it may not be bled. These are the words of Rabbi Yehuda. He does not inflict a blemish upon it, and if he did inflict a blemish upon it, he may not be slaughtered on its account. Rabbi Shimon says he may bleed even though he inflicts a blemish upon it. If one slits the ear of a Bekor, it may never be slaughtered. These are the words of Rabbi Eliezer, and the sages, however, say when it develops another blemish, he may slaughter it on its account. If it happened, there's an old ram with dangling hair that the questioner spotted it. He said, what is the reason for this? And they said to him, it is a Bekor, and it may be not slaughtered unless it has a blemish. Whereupon he took a dagger and set its ear. The matter came before the sages, and they permitted it. When he saw that they had permitted it, he went and split the ears of the other Bekors, and they prohibited it. Once children were playing in the field, and they tied the tail of lambs to one another. The tail of one of them was torn off, and was found to be a Bekor. The matter came before the Kohanim, and they permitted it. When they saw that they had prohibited it, they went and tied together the tails of all of the chorus, and they prohibited it. This is the rule: whatever is done with knowledge is prohibited, and whatever without knowledge is permissible.
Yeah. Zvachim heiches.
Let's move this over here. Okay, here we go. And yes, the Bakor offering, the Misa offering, and the basic offering are offerings of lesser holiness. They're stored maybe anywhere in the courtyard, and their blood requires one application. But it must apply it opposite the base. They differ in the manner of their consumption. The Bakor offering is eaten only by Kohanim, and the Misa offering by anyone, and they may be eaten throughout the city by anyone, prepared in any manner for 2 days and 1 night. The Pesach offering may be eaten only by night, and it may be eaten only until midnight. It may be eaten only by those registered for it, and it may be eaten only roasted. The most holy offerings were slaughtered in the top of the altar, and Rabbi Yossi says it is as if they had been slaughtered in the north. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda says from the middle of the altar and northward is as from the north, and from the middle of the altar and southward is the south. The Mincha offerings that have would have their helmet separated anywhere in the courtyard, and they are eaten within the curtain by male Kohanim prepared in any manner for a day and a night until midnight. Okay.
One more.
The buri katas would be offered at the southwest corner of the altar, and it was valid in any place, but this was its place. The corner served for 3 things below and 3 above. The buri katas and the bringing near and remainder of the blood. Above, the libation of the water and the wine and the burnt olive when there are too many on the side of the altar.
Okay. Baba Kama. Aleph Gimel.
The valuation is in its money, and the payment is made with money worth in the presence of a court by the testimony of witnesses who are free men and Jews. Women are governed by the law of damages, and the damaging and damager are included in the payment. There are 5 that are tamin and 5 that are mudan. An animal is not muad whether it's to gore or to push, nor to bite, nor to lie down, nor to kick. Shane is muad to eat, but is fit for it. Regal is muad to break as it walks. The muad bull, the bull of the damages, while on the premises of the damages and man. The wolf, the lion, the bear, the leopard, the bardalis, and the snake are muadin. Rabbi Eliezer says that when they're domesticated, they're not muadin, but the snake is always muad. What is the difference between a tam and a muad? Only that the owner of the tam pays half the damages from his body, and the owner of the muad pays the full damages from the best of the property. In what way is regal considered muad? To break as it walks. The animal is muad to walk in its usual manner and break. If it was kicking or if pebbles were flying from under its feet or it broke vessels, he pays half the damages. If he stepped on a vessel and broke it, and it fell on a vessel and broke it, for the first one he pays the full damages, for the second one he pays half. Fowl are considered muadin to walk in their usual manner and break. If a thread was tied to his feet and it was jumping and it broke vessels, he pays half the damages.
Okay. Erevin Dalet Gimel.
Okay. If one left with permission and they said to him, the act has already been done, he has 2,000 cubits in every direction. If it was in the tchum, as if he did not leave. And all those having the same people may return to their places. One who sat down while on a journey, then stood up and saw that it was near a city. Since it may not be his intention, he may not enter. These are the words of the mayor. Rabbi Yehuda says he may enter. Rabbi Yehuda says once happened that Rabbi Tarfon entered without intent. One who slept while on a journey and did not know that it had become dark has 2,000 cubits in every direction. These are the words of Rabbi Yochanan ben Nuri, but the Talmud say he has only 4 cubits. Rabbi Eliezer says he is in their midst. Rabbi Yehuda says he may go in any direction he wishes. Rabbi Yehuda agrees that once he chooses for himself, he cannot retract.
Okay. And mikvahs.
Okay.
Vav.
There we go. Vav. If there is a broken earthenware vessel in a mikvah and one immersed therein, earthenware utensils, they become purified from the tumah, but they are still tummy on account of the earthenware vessel. If the water flowed over it even a little, they are tahor. If a spring issues forth in an oven, and one went down and immersed himself therein, he becomes tahor, but his hands are tame. And if there was water above the height of the hand, then his hands are two are tahor. The mingling of mikvahs may be as much as the size of a water skin tube, and its thickness in its hole, which is in the area in which 2 fingers can rotate. If there was a doubt whether there was as much as a water skin tube or water that was not as that much as a water skin tube, it is invalid because it is required by Torah law. Similarly, an olive size of a corpse, or an olive size of a carcass, a lentil size of creeping things, anything that settles in the opening that is the size of a water skin reduces it. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel says any organism that develops from water is tahor. One can cause mikvahs to become tahor, an upper one from a lower one, and a distant one from a close one. How so? He should bring a pipe of earth or wood, and he should place his hand beneath it until it fills with water, and it should cause it to flow and to be connected, even as a hairbreadth is sufficient. If the upper one contains 40 saw and the lower one was empty, one can draw water and carry it on his shoulder and place it in the upper one until 40 saw goes down into the lower one.
Okay, and that's it. And I wish you a Gemara Chasima Tova. I'll see you on Tuesday morning.
Thank you.